Okay, so girls, if you are watching on the replay, I think this is a really important topic. It doesn't matter if it's this time of the year or any other time of the year, but I wanted us to just focus on the topic of forgiving ourselves.
Ooh.
Exactly. This is a really big topic, and it came up for me a couple of weeks ago. And it's generally to do with families, isn't it? Family shite. That's what mine was, family shite. You know, sister over from Africa who I don't speak to anymore, who's stuck in this narrative like this, and she will never see like that, let alone like that. She's just, and I can't be doing with it all. So I just, let it. But it's really interesting because we get into this pattern of, and this is what I was doing. I was getting quite bitter towards my sister, and in fact, two of my sisters, my half sister and my other sister. I mean, it's family shizzle that goes on. Not my sister in Germany because she's lovely, but it's quite interesting how we allow ourselves to blame ourselves for different things, to go into that place of shame or whatever, and to become very bitter and blame other people for making you feel a certain way, which actually they're not doing anything. You are just allowing yourself to blame yourself or allow yourself to blame them, because it's actually an escapism from what is the real truth of where we are within ourselves. How can we actually come to a place of forgiveness for that person's behavior and our own behavior, and send love, if necessary, first of all to yourself and then to them? Because we can't change anybody. We're not responsible for changing anybody. And neither are we in that position where we should dampen down who we are to fit into somebody else's pocket, because they are on this narrative. And this is what's showing up so much more now. You guys will also know, and Neela, I know you've experienced this a lot more as well. When you start showing up as a different person, particularly to the people that know you best, it doesn't go down very well, because they're like,
They get confused.
They do. They get really confused, Jules.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Who are you? Who's this?
Like,
why are you behaving like this?
Absolutely. I mean, I remember my sister saying a few years ago, probably the last time I saw her, actually, I know you so well. And I thought, you haven't got a clue who I am. Number one, I haven't seen you for ages. You don't speak to me. She plays games all the time. And that makes me insane, because she's never, she's worked about 3 years in her life. She's been an expat, looked after by her husband, and she's got too much time to think. And she's even admitted this. I've got to take these straps off. And so it's very interesting when we start to look at this. So, of course, I'm getting all bitter and twisted, saying, she's this and that. And actually, someone gave me a bit of a talking to, and I was like, thank you very much, because I really need to change perspective, because the only person that I'm actually irritating is myself, because she doesn't know anything about it. So it's just a lesson for us all to remember that, you know what? Everybody has difficult times. Everybody makes mistakes in life. None of us are perfect. Everything that we do, whether we put it into a category of good or bad, take it as a lesson, take it as wisdom, take it as, okay, that didn't work for me so well. So what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this understanding that actually that was pretty shit? My behavior to them might have been pretty shit. What good is it for us to actually hang on? Oh, it's making me yawn. Hang on and hold the grudges within us, because the grudges and the bitterness or the anger or the frustration just eats away at us. So when did you girls and Jules and Nina, I don't even know if we've done this since you've been in the group, Jules, do the metta meditation?
Oh, I can't remember. A long time ago.
Precisely. Neela, do you know it?
What is it?
The metta meditation.
I don't think so.
So guess what I was doing? I was like, the bloody metta meditation. And what I'm going to do, and I need just a quiet space to do it. God, whenever I get on here, guys, it's like me yawning. I'm going to record it. Now, the metta meditation, Neela, is so flipping powerful. It's a forgiveness meditation, but we're forgiving ourselves first. And I had to look it up again because I used to do it a lot because obviously I needed to do it a lot at one point. And then I have not done it, like you, Jules, for months. It hasn't even come into my mindset to do it. Not at all. We know the Ho'opono. I call it the Ho'oponopono, but the Ho'opono is the forgiveness meditation. You know, I'm so sorry, I love you, I forgive you, thank you, da 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 da. That is super powerful. But I personally think that the metta meditation takes this on another level. We can do the Ho'oponopono, and we can lengthen that Ho'oponopono into different statements. Do you know that one, Lena?
No, I don't know that.
No. Oh God, stop yawning. I wasn't yawning before I got in here. What are you doing to me, girls? Right.
Good.
I'll send that as well. But the metta meditation it's such a beautiful gift. And this is what what I'm going to do, and I hadn't thought about doing this before because I never thought about actually recording it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to record it, and I'll tell you in the minute the sessions for 5 minutes for each part of it, which isn't actually very long. I have done this in the past for like 40 minutes. No question. And that is just on one section. I have literally, when I used to walk Roxy, I would be sort of like just spouting this and repeating it and repeating it and repeating it for my whole walk. So really powerful. So what we do is so first of all, we have to work on ourselves. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be held in loving kindness. May I accept myself for who I am. May I be happy. May I know the joy of being alive. It is so powerful. And you just keep repeating that, okay? You repeat it and you repeat it and you repeat it to yourself until you actually embody it. I don't want it just to be repeated so that actually you forget and your mind's wandering off. It's just a repetition of something. Oh God, I want it to be repeated so you're actually feeling into what does that mean? May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be held in loving kindness. May I accept myself for who I am. May I be happy. May I be filled. May I be, hang on one sec, what's that last? May I know the joy of life. It is so powerful. So you repeat it and you repeat it and you repeat it and until you really feel, yeah, that's how I feel. And then you repeat it to someone that you really like. Okay. So something like your friends or someone that you respect. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be filled with, may you be held in loving kindness. May you accept yourself for who you are. May you be happy. May you know the joy of life. Okay? That's easy. The next bit's not so easy because then you do it for someone you don't particularly like or someone who's challenged you. And I didn't even do this with my sister. I didn't even get that far. I literally just did it for myself.
What's the last line, please?
May you know the joy of life, or may I know the joy of life.
Thank you.
May I know the joy of life. Yeah, may I know the, sorry, hang on, Jules. May I know the joy of being alive. So I knew there was something wrong. May I know the joy of being alive.
So may I be filled with loving kindness. May I be held with loving kindness. May I accept myself for who I am. May
Yeah.
I be happy. May
Yeah.
I know the joy of being alive.
Yes. Yeah, you've got it.
Thank
Now,
you.
so the first time we're doing it for ourselves, that is the most
Yeah.
important one. You do not shift until you can actually feel and embody that. The second time you're doing it for somebody that you like. So you're sending love to Sarah, for example, Jules, or
Yeah.
that you respect and love. The third one is someone that challenges you. Now, I had only once a very, very powerful experience when I was doing this. And I was shocked because when I was doing it for my ex-husband, something had obviously pissed me off and I was really trying to clear it. And then I remember I was out walking rocks and I was about 20 minutes from home. And I was doing this and I was repeating it time and time again. And I suddenly started retching. And I literally, it was almost like my body just went into shock. You know, when you just suddenly go really cold
Mm.
and you get all dizzy and you get sort of all sort of sweaty and clammy. And I was like, shit. There was nothing for me to throw up, but I couldn't stop retching. And I was like, how the hell am I going to get home? Because that's how bad I felt. That is how ill I suddenly, like that, felt. It was so powerful.
Was that when you were doing the third bit?
The third bit, when I was doing it about him. Yeah. And I was just blown away by how it just came on like that. And so I think I must have done some tapping or just something to get myself back together. And then in a few more minutes, I was back into myself and I got myself home.
So what do you think that was? A release of something to
Yeah,
do with him?
absolutely. Absolutely. I honestly, I have never had anything since then doing it with anybody, but it was so powerful. So do not underestimate. My point is here. Do not underestimate how powerful this is, because it will shift you and it will shift other people. And even if you just do this for yourself before you think about anybody else. The fourth one actually is, may we be held in loving kindness.
Oh.
May we be held in loving kindness. May we accept ourselves for who we are. So we're doing this on the collective energy and level. All right. So may we. But if you feel on any of these four that you're doing, that your mind is slipping and you're not really in the energy with it, you're literally just repeating the words, then go back. You go back to you. Because until you've actually felt this within yourself, do not move on. Do not move on. Do not even go into anybody else, because we're so good at, and especially all of us here, we're all empaths, we're all gentle souls, we all are constantly looking after everybody else rather than us. This is not what it's about. This is about you. Okay? This is about how you work with you and you forget everybody else, because if we are not standing in our greatness, we're no good to anybody else, really, because we're just going to backfire off all of their shit as well. So we have to stand in our greatness. We have to put this up. Neela, you're so funny. You're so tired.
Me?
Yes.
I'm falling asleep. I'm holding my phone
There
up.
you are. I can see it.
What time is it there, Neela?
Oh, it's past 7 o'clock, but I was up till late. I was chatting to my sister in the UK.
Oh gosh, Neela. Oh, you're so good to come. But does this make sense, Neela? I know you're sleeping. I'm going to put it into the group. We've done this many times before, but we haven't done it this year. I know we haven't.
It's a long time.
It really is a long time. And this is what
Yeah.
I love in the fact that we have got so many tools in this box. You know, we don't use them all the time. We don't need to use them all the time, but we have to have tools, because if I was doing this every week, you'd be bored to shit. You know, you just think, I don't need to do that anymore. I'm past that. But then they come back up, like this has come back up through my experience. And I can't tell you how much that shifted. And I didn't do it on anyone else. And I didn't even do it for this long. because I was getting, and a friend of mine, she said to me, I can see you are getting so bitter about your sister, and you have been getting more and more bitter for the last year. And I was like, oh, this really is not good. I have to shift this. And I don't feel like that now about her. And I thought, right, this is not good, because actually everything that we are experiencing and feeling and that we are putting out into the universe is just magnetizing and mirroring back the shit to us, because it's just energy. It's just energy. So we have to work on us first. It's not selfish. It's absolutely necessary. So this is what we're going to do. So you remember, we are very shortly going into a new season, girls. We're going to go into, on the 21st, water. And water season is very different to this season. So we know that the final part of metal season is to release and let go of anything and everything that no longer works for you. Make the most of these last, what's 21 minus 9? Jules, you're good with maths. How many days we got left?
I'm not very good with mental arithmetic. I work with figures all day, but
No, I'm going to tell you exactly what it is, because I can't work it out in my head right in a minute. It's so simple, isn't it?
what are you asking?
12 days. To 12 days, we're starting to shift into water. Now, water is the season where we're nurturing ourselves. We're going into the winter period. We're not really truly into winter now. Feels like it, but we're not. We're not for you. Not for you, Neela. You're effectively. You'll have to be on our winter for a bit, okay? We're reversing your seasons here.
Yeah.
Effectively, it'd be more summer for you, but let's just think it's winter, okay? Just so you can join with us, because we don't want you to feel too hot and sweaty over there. We want you to come back into us. So winter is that time when we want to just snuggle in front of the fire, watch the gale blowing outside, and not have to engage in that. It's the time when we become more reflective. And obviously, coming into the new year, it's like the time when we think, okay, what was working for us this year? What did I learn this year? What am I going to shift and change and upgrade for next year? So it's a really fabulous season before we get into the spring, where everything starts to flourish yet again, because we've sown the seeds. It's seed time. It's putting the bulbs in the soil. Yeah. So clear, 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 clear. And if you want to do the Ho'oponopono, all you do is, and I use the tapping with it. I forgive you, and you're talking to yourself here, Neela. It's like, and you can extend that. I forgive you for being such a bitter old cow to your sister or something. I'm so sorry that you felt like that. I really do love you despite of all of that. Thank you. Thank you for being honest with yourself. That's how we use it. And I use the tapping because that just, for me, puts it onto a more powerful edge. And you can use the tapping with the metta. Just be.
Can I ask something about tapping?
Yes.
When you are doing anything like this, can you just tap away, or does it have to be have to be a certain routine to the tapping, or can you just do that?
Absolutely. So I mean, I do beginning of the eyebrow, end of the eyebrow, under the eye, onto the chest.
And that just gives everything more power, because when I follow your meditations and you have the tapping, I do it. Yeah, but fantastic. I didn't realize that you can do it at any time just to release something.
The tapping, and we can do this more when we go into next year. We can. The tapping is so simple. You don't. I mean, I could just be tapping now as I'm having a conversation with you, and I did go out and do some tapping while I'm walking when I was thinking about my sister, and it's just like, just tap as you're having a conversation. And it's just like, okay, well, I'm letting it go. Just let it go. Whatever it is, whatever this feeling, remember, it's the feeling inside that you're representing. Representing the issue, and just let it go. Just let it go.
Okay, right? Thank you.
There is a tapping script that should be in the back office now into the membership, which is a whole script that you could follow that will, I haven't seen it for so long, but if I remember correctly, it's got the long version, and I'm pretty sure I did a short version there that you can use. So just go with that. But what I would say, after, I would never have said this to you before I had my experience with the metta, just be careful what you do, because the tapping is going to bring the shit up. So just be aware. And of course, I was doing that for like 20, 40 minutes. So of course I was going to bring stuff up. You might want to just start with doing the metta on yourself. Do it for a couple of minutes, do it for 5 minutes, do it for 20 minutes, do it for half an hour. Do with however long you feel you want to do it for. But see how you feel with it. And then add in the other people. Okay? But don't underestimate the power of it. And anything else now, just maybe write a list out. Okay, this is what I'm feeling about da 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 da. Because actually, it's nothing to do with the person as such. It's your perspective on that specific issue that person is bringing up for you. And I'm sure, Jules, in the office, you will know, certain people will trigger us more than other people.
Yes.
Yes. And I tell you, it doesn't matter, in my experience, it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're at work, whether you're in a gathering, whether you're in a meeting or whatever, there's generally one person that will be triggering you. It doesn't matter how big it doesn't matter how big it is or how small that group is. There's generally one person that will trigger you. And that's the person that is there to share with you the biggest lesson you need to know at that time. So be grateful for them, okay? Have gratitude for that challenge. What are they trying to reflect back to you that you need to work with?
That's really interesting perspective, because as you know, I've had quite a lot of challenges with certain people at work over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And I had a big one today, so that's really interesting. And yeah, I decided to approach it in a certain way, and I could have just buried my head in the sand and said, no, this is too horrible. But I just thought, no, I'm going to deal with this, and I did.
Good for you, Jules, because in the past, I know you would never have done that, would you?
Well, I would have got very stressed and worked up about it.
Right.
But I was able to deal with it calmly and how I wanted to deal with it.
And how was the result from that?
Good.
Bloody brilliant.
Yeah, good.
Amazing. And
I was really pleased. Pardon?
They responded okay.
Yeah, they did. Really well.
Absolutely brilliant.
Mm.
So just, maybe you would like to, from that point, just take in what is it that you need to release for yourself? Maybe there's some doubt that you could actually do that. Maybe there's some sort of backlash. Well, did I do a good job? I mean, am I right to have said that? Or
yeah.
Was it was that for me or was it for them? Was it about me or was it about them? And do the metta or do the Ho'oponopono and just clear anything that might be lurking. Because that will shift the energy with you and her and who knows who else.
Yeah.
Okay. So this week or this next 12 days on countdown, I know there's a little crossover, but really think, and girls, if you're watching on the replay, I will send another email out about this to remind you, and I'll put this metta, because I've just got an email out actually, I haven't finished it, I haven't sent it, clearly needed to put this in. I'm going to put this metta in there, so write it out somewhere. I'm actually going to get it put onto a PDF so you could print it out. This would actually be quite a good thing to print out and laminate and put it somewhere, just as a reminder every now and again. You know what? Haven't done that for a few months. What's going on for me? But the biggest gift we can give ourselves is to let go of of blaming ourselves and therefore blaming other people, because it's so much easier to blame other people for our misgivings or our misunderstandings, or, you know, energetically you think there's a complete misalignment with all of us. And this is life. We cannot possibly align with everybody because we need to be challenged. We do not grow unless we're challenged. Whatever area of life it is, we will never grow unless we're really challenged. So it's a gift. It's a gift to ourselves to be able to say, okay, that was really shitty. And I feel really bitchy and I really want to lash out. I really want to lit fire and I really want to say this stuff. And actually the opportunity is not to actually say it. I don't see my sister, you know, so the conversation, and I know actually I've avoided her because I know the conversation is literally one track. That's her vision.
You could write it down. You could write the conversation down, but you won't have.
Absolutely. No.
Because then you've got it out.
Absolutely. But doing the metta actually really did shift. I can't have a conversation with her because I know from past experience, she will never open the gates to actually see a different perspective. It's that thing. You can't resolve anything when it's just that.
No.
You just can't, because it has to be, you know, coherence together. So this is really what I'd love you to work on. And I think this is a really powerful way to just really clear out anything else that is sitting around in your beingness that you just want to clear out. And this is what we're doing at this time of the year, aren't we? We're really looking at, you know, we're reflecting, not necessarily consciously, but it just happens at this time of the year. We start to think, oh my God, we're coming to the end of the year. I can't believe we're almost in January. It just seems crazy. So we start to reflect on what sort of year has it been? What sort of year are we going to have next year? We say the same bloody shit every year. We're going to get, oh, this year's going to be this and this and this. But look at the gifts that you've got from this year. I've already written this in this email, just thinking about this today. None of this is bad. It feels like it, but everything we experience is there for us to have a deeper sense of wisdom within ourselves. It's there for us to learn from those past experiences and say, okay, that didn't work, but what did I gather from that? What did I learn from that? Even your experience today is going to give you the gift of knowing that you can do this again and get a bloody good result. Instead of sitting there thinking, I can't say that, but I'm really pissed off and I'm getting really frustrated. It's like, okay, why can't we just air our views? It's not what we say more often than not, it's how we say it and when we say it.
Yeah, and I actually mulled it over for most of the day before I actually said it, because I wanted to say the right thing.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And that's good, because sometimes, you know, the voice comes out and just spurts and creates more damage without actually feeling.
I could have just reacted and done it straight away, and then I thought, no, and thinking back, I would have said something completely different, and it wouldn't have been right.
Yeah.
So I just had to kind of pick my time, which was the right time.
Yeah. And actually, you know, when we say about communication, you cannot have a discussion with anybody when you are in the stress state to get a decent result, because you know, someone wants to win and someone wants to be the loser. And what we're always looking for is the win-win. We do not want the win-lose, the lose-win. And that's what actually, when you look around the world, you look at politics, you look at governments, you look at anything, there's always needing to be a winner and a loser. Why can't we have winners?
Yeah, there's the ego gets in the way, doesn't it?
The ego, and especially with the male ego, you know, it becomes very dominant and powerful, and they can't see any other way. It's either you win, it's my way, or the highway. It doesn't need to be. But we have to come into neutral to be able to have those discussions at the right time in the right way to get a decent result. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what I'd like you to do this week is to write a list of anything and everything that you feel that needs to be meted. Because it needs to be meted. Okay. And you may very well be able to do quite a lot of that just in one. First of all, it's the awareness. That's the key to what you need to shift. And when you've shifted, you know, because there'll be a core issue right underneath that. It's like, what is that core problem? What is that core belief that I have, or that core value that I have about myself that I'm not really accepting or liking, or whatever it is? And you may well find by just doing the metta on yourself, you will clear so much more on the surface level, different areas, because it's coming from that core misunderstanding or egotistical view of something. So write things down and clear it out and just see how that feels. And then once you feel that you've cleared you, you go on to somebody nice. And it's actually very nice to do that for someone you like.
Yeah.
It's a lovely thing to be able to give that gift. You know, may you be held in loving kindness, especially if there's someone there that you feel really needs that, you know. And then do the tricky one. Spend as long as you can at that. You probably will have to go back and do a bit more. And then do the guided one, you know, the collective one. And what you can do, you can just do it all in one go. So you really focus on you first and just do that, and then do the 4 sections. Or depending on how that's going, and I wouldn't do this necessarily at first, I would do a couple of minutes on each one and then do it again. Because what you might find is the second time you go round, you can think about that person, think about yourself, and it's like, actually, you know, that has cleared more. If you feel,
Just do it in a cycle. Yeah.
if you feel that it's actually too tough to focus on that person, particularly if it's the tricky one, the third one, for too long, just do a short one, move on to we, and go back again. Yes, you know, may I, may you, may we, and do it that way. And that's,
Okay.
so adapt it to how you feel with what you're working with. Use the tapping and go with it like that. Okay. Neither of you gone back to sleep? Have you snuggled up in your bed?
Yeah, I'm listening in, but I'll replay the whole thing.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Right, no problem at all. But does that make sense, Neela? Have you got any questions about that? Can you see where this could be useful for you?
Yes, very useful.
Yeah, yeah. Because at the end of the day, it is not actually for other people to heal us.
Yeah.
No.
We have to do the work ourselves. And if those other people don't want to do the work, things will already shift, because you've shifted, your healing has shifted, and you've shifted the perspective. So you don't have that feisty energy that's still out there, which I was creating. Because I could have slapped around the house a couple of times, you know, which is not the solution at all. And it's really not this. It's just, yeah, it is just what it is. But it's not often I actually really get triggered by anybody. But I think if anyone's going to trigger you, it's going to be family. And it is family. In my place. Okay, so does that make sense? Brilliant. Okay, so just another thought. For next year, we're going to start with, we're going to have a theme, you know, every month. We're going to work through the chakras, because, and it's not just going to be solely that, but it will be based on what the theme of that chakra is going to be. So for example, root for January is the perfect one to start with, which is why I wanted to start it then, because it is, how do we feel safe and secure and supported? We've got to start at the base yet again, which is, we know, Muladhara. But we'll have topics, obviously different things that will come up within that. Okay. Now, what I want to know from you girls, because obviously this group is about you and what you want for your own growth and healing. And I mean, Jules, you've been here for ages, as have quite a few of you. But what is it? What else do you want? What else do you want to know? What else would you like to focus on? Because that's what I need to know from you.
I don't always know.
Yeah. Okay.
I just know that it's something I like to do regularly.
Yeah.
But I don't always know what I want or what I need.
Okay. I mean, that's why sometimes I know we don't have a set plan, because I just think sometimes it's so in the moment of like
See what comes up. Yeah.
topics of what is right for the group, but also what is right that comes up for me to share with you. If I was too rigid in this planning, it wouldn't work, because our lives are evolving, but we do need to have a little bit of a theme. And if we can have a theme of working around the chakras, because I really want you guys to understand the energy systems, and we'll incorporate the meridians as well, because when you understand, when you're feeling da 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 da, I want you to suddenly think, right, which chakra do I think is out of balance? Which one is that really based in? Which meridians would be going around here? It was saying this, that, and the other. Which emotions am I feeling? Right, that's that meridian. So what have I got going on in my body? What are the messages from my body? Right, well, that's on that meridian or that meridian, whatever. I want you to be so intuitive like that with this. This is where the power is. Because the first thing that I ever think of, if I've got a pain or something, what meridian is it on? What is going, what is really going on? What is the underlying cause of this? When did it start? You know, generally speaking, it's probably longer than you think. What was going on around that time? What do I feel? What sort of pain is it? Etc. Etc. Etc.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know we haven't done any tapping for a while, but hopefully, if you, I know you do yours in the morning, Jules. I don't often. I do it, but I don't. Actually, no, I do it probably more often than I realize. Even when I'm doing something, even like the positive tappings or the oath of overflow, I tap. Because anything you are doing when you're tapping, you're just shifting the energy onto another level. So, you know, use it just as if it's, you know, getting your bowl out for breakfast in the morning is part of your routine, as I know you do, Jules. So don't think about it, just use it. You don't have to think about what you need to say. Okay?
No, and I quite often don't say anything in the morning. I just do it.
Exactly. You really don't. And, you know, or you can just say, I'm okay. Everything works out for me. I'm going to have a fabulous day. You know, keep it really simple. Quite often,
I'm sorry, I'm really yawning.
no, I know. Well, it's the same, isn't it? Don't you start doing it again. Oh my God. Okay, so does this, is there anything specifically, and girls, if anyone's watching on the replay, tell me, because if you have got specific issues that are going on that you don't know how to handle or you're not sure about it, talk about it, because if you've got that going on, believe you me, you're not the only one. You're the only one. And that's what this group is about. And I do need to, I keep saying it, I do need to put it out there, get some more people in, because I want you to be in that place where you are growing, and the challenges, never think of the challenges as shite. It might be feeling shite, but they're always the moments of growth. Feel into the wisdom that you're getting out of it. I know it's tough. Jesus, no one's had more challenges than me. Believe you me, I'm just like on the bucket load of challenges in all sorts of ways. And a lot of that we bring on upon ourselves because we create our own reality. So it's like, what else can we recreate? So what we're going to do this next week, we've got Frequency Friday this week. I'll be sending frequencies. I'll have a look at the topic. I'll see what we can do about release. Next week, we've got Christina. Now, next week on the Thursday, we're supposed to have cards, but I can't do it on that Thursday because I'm actually flying to Germany on the Friday. And that Thursday is just going to be a bit bonkers. So I've put it down for next Tuesday. Okay. So
what's that? Tuesday?
Meditation and calm. It's Tuesday.
What date's that?
17th.
I can't do that day.
Okay. We might be able to do the Wednesday, or we might even be able to do a bit earlier on the Monday. Could you do the Monday? 16th.
Next week.
Yeah.
Next Monday.
Yeah, next Monday for cards. And
Probably, yeah.
Neela, if you, it doesn't matter so much first thing in the morning, does it? I don't think you've got any of the dates at 7 o'clock in the morning. Okay.
No, no.
I'm going to
Good,
change
no.
that to Monday, but I'm going to have to do it for 7:30. Will that work? Because I do have a call at 8:30 on that Monday.
Yeah, probably be all right.
Yeah. And then the following week, it's Christmas week. So let's just leave that. And then the week after, I'm going to be in Germany anyway, which doesn't make any difference because I can do whatever. New Year's Day is on the Wednesday. So what I've put down is to do cards and meditation on that Thursday, the 2nd. So
Okay.
see what, and I really like that session to be about what you want from the 2025. God, cannot believe it's into this decade. Century. So we'll do, so really start thinking about this. You know, what is it that you want to commit to? Because I want you to have a vision in your head. When you go to bed at night, think about, what do you want to feel? What do you want to do? What is your intention? What is your highest goal? What would it be for you to stand in your greatness? What do you need? What does that look like? And I'm not saying it may be changing the job or changing it. All that needs necessarily is for you in your position with where you are right now. How can you be in your greatness? All right. And we can pull the cards on that, and we can do a New Year card reading for that one.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're going to start.
So you're saying next Monday, and then that'll be it until the 2nd, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm being unrealistic by trying to do something in the middle on that
No,
week.
it's fine.
The 23rd. I mean, it is the 23rd that week, and it's not really going to work out, is it?
Oh, it's all right.
So we'll just take that week and we will do the new year, and that will be the focus for, right. So start thinking about what you want, write them down. But for finishing off now, the focus is on metta or the Ho'oponopono, whichever you prefer, or do a combination of them both, but keep writing things down that you want to release. Be consciously thinking about, right, I'm going to get rid of that little bit, that blip, that blip, that blip. And we're going to restart for January, refresh the page. It's pushing that delete button and saying, right, empty. I'm recreating the year.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, girls?
Yes.
Yeah.
Any questions at all?
No.
No?
No.
Neela, you can go back into bed and have a snuggle up for another half an hour. I'm sure you could.
I'm sure I could. I shouldn't.
Why not?
Why not? Go for it. I would.
True.
All right, girls. So let's
Thank you.
Thank
I'm going to put the meta into the email so you can copy it out. And,
Yes.
once you've got it, you've got it. You just have to change the I to you or we. That's it. It's the same. All right. And I'd love to know how you feel. So, you can put it into the group. When you do it, how are you feeling when you're actually doing it? What comes up for you? Okay. Yeah. All right, girls. That's a plan. All right. And if you think of anything else while you're, can we talk about this topic, or can we do this, or can I have a tapping session on da 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 da? Then let me know, because we'll do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Lovely.
Because once we do the chakras, it's not like we're just going to talk about the chakras, but we're going to talk about whatever enters into our field around that particular energy center. So you're more consciously working on those. Okay.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you.
All right, girls. Go
Thank
enjoy
you.
the rest of the week. Seeing it is
Thank
Monday.
you. You too.
All right, we'll catch up. next week.
next week.
Okay, have a good week.
You too.
All right,
Nice to
too.
see you both.
Nice to see you
You
too.
too. Bye.